I was scared to visit Nigeria, but I got shocked by many things. This was a statement Ajim made while he traveled to Nigeria. He said he was very scared to go to Nigeria because he has heard of stories of kidnapping, stories of police brutality, police stories of the high cost of living in Nigeria, stories of phone snatching and all of that. But when he came here, he never experienced even one or anything or anybody around him complaining that they have had this kind of experiences. He talked about how in his country the police there, they are not friendly at all. He mentioned that while he was crossing the border from Cameroon to Cross River, that the police, he tendered his passport, and police were like, why didn't he tender his ID card? They were rude. And the Nigerian guy who was with him said, and as soon as they do for you. So basically he's saying that traveling as a foreigner to Nigeria is very cheap, but he doesn't understand why in Nigeria they say things are hard. Maybe within Nigeria things are actually hard, but they come in, they don't see it as being hard. Somebody on the comment now said yes, that Wodemaya once said it, that things in Nigeria are super cheap and affordable. Now I understand better, because when Ajin came and we'll go out and somebody told him the price of something, Ajim did not even begin to negotiate price. So he said when he was in Ecom, he had asked, Ecom is a local government, a very, very busy and an economic hub, local government kind of, in Cross River State. And he said, because he's the closest to Cameroon, he said he asked them, how is the hotel here in Ecom? How is the living, experience in Ecom? He said, there are Cameroon people. He didn't know that Ajin was Cameroon, because he said Cameroon people have spoiled it though. Because Cameroon would always come to Ecom to get things very cheap and go and sell in Cameroon, or buy things cheap. They shop in Cameroon, in Nigeria at a very affordable price. Then they take it to Cameroon, you understand? Because their things are expensive. He said in Nigeria, he showed the different monies they use in Nigeria. He talked about the 15 naira, and he said, but they noticed that most times where he goes to, they don't have change. Like, they don't have small denomination like the 50 naira, the 200 and the 100 naira. He said especially the 100 naira, he didn't have it because they didn't, they always didn't have change about it. But sometimes he sees taxi drivers have the 100 naira, but when it comes to him getting the change, he said that's what inflation can do. He also talked about how friendly the Nigerian police officers were to him and around where he went to. He said that even though it was going to be a controversial topic, knowing too fully well how Nigerians have called out their police officers on different stories, on different times, talking about the police brutality and all of that, but he feels that his own treatment from the police was very fair. He also mentioned a lot of things. He talked about the 500 naira note. He talked about the 1,000 naira note, saying that 1,000 is the highest note in Nigeria denomination, while in his own, they have 10,000 that is that high. So that he feels that Nigeria is a very sweet place to live, that everything he heard about Nigeria was just the opposite of what he got, that he feels that Nigeria is a safe place, and he encourages other African countries to visit Nigeria. They will see it for themselves. He talked about how Nigerians are very friendly. Nigerians are very, very friendly, that living in Nigeria and seeing things that happen in Nigeria is super cute to see how friendly Nigerians are. That if you have not been loved in your own country, come to Nigeria, Nigerians are going to love you. And he talked about freedom of movement, that in Nigeria, nobody stopped him to ask him, do you have passport with you? Where are you from? And all that. And I used to say this here, Nigerians will never stop you to ask you, where are you from? They will not ask you. Nigerians are very busy going about their business to come and be asking you, where are you from? In fact, if they even see that you're in trouble, they will stop to ask you, are you okay? They will never want to ask. They even start saying, sorry, I hope you are okay. In fact, some will even say, let them take your number to follow up on you, to know that Nigerians are very caring. That's basically what Nigerians will do. So he talked about the food, the culture, how affordable food is in Nigeria, that he will do a separate video where he will talk about all of those things. But he is very, very certain that he loved Nigeria, that he almost didn't come back to Cameroon or his own place. And he now talked about how he's thinking of getting a property in Nigeria, that he was already seeing himself getting a property in Nigeria and relocating to stay in Nigeria. And I won't lie, I almost advised him to come relocate and stay in Nigeria. I almost did that, because he would definitely find it fun living in Nigeria with the kind of content he creates, because Nigerians are always ready to vibe to several things, and they don't care to know where you come from. Their own is just live your life, let them live their life. As Nigerians are like this, if governments come up and begin to do things the right way, and just not Nigerians say chop your money, you can steal as many, but Nigerians don't care. But what they don't like is don't come into their own space, like you don't give them light, you want to humiliate them. Nigerians will not take that from you. That's why they are always calling the government to be accountable. Nigerians don't want to be the only one shining. They want their brothers to also shine, and that is why if like now if I'm hungry, I go to my neighbor's place and say I'm hungry, they'll say really. They will go in and pack more than I asked for. Maybe I needed a cup of gari, they'll give me more than that, because that's what Nigerians are known for. They are givers, and they are very accommodating and welcoming. They don't disrespect their visitors. So let us read something people said on the comment section. Someone said, I am happy, Ajim, you faced your fears. Well done. Oh. My mom used to say that, my son, learn to face your fears. If you are afraid of something, don't let it scare you. Face it the way it is. That's the mindset I grew up with. Yes, Nigerians are very resilient, and their parents will always teach them to face their fears and not allow it doesn't not allow it to becloud their sense of judgment. Or because me, I have been so afraid growing up. Even when I had parents that taught me not to face my fears, I would rather not do a thing. Like if I had my father quarrel my brothers, I say, oh, don't do this thing, why did you do it? I would just advise myself. I was someone that was advising myself based on the experiences of others. When people say, hey, they went and did this with a man, and this happened to them, I'll distance myself in my spirit and just stay away from all of this. This one said, Jim, the #1 ambassador of Nigeria, we love you. This one said, good job, Ajim. Thank you always for promoting Nigeria and Africa. Nigerians are very African as a brother of the Africa. I don't know what that person is trying to say. It's what say Nigerians are hospitality and all of those. I don't understand what he's saying. And he said, I'm excited that you went to Uyo, and I'm therefore looking forward to your videos of Uyo. Okay, yes, he mentioned there that he went to Uyo, but he's yet to post the videos of Uyo. This one said, Jim, kudos to you. Another thing Jim said is that he traveled to different places. So he traveled by road, and there was no kidnapping, no armed robbery, nothing. He traveled from so in the southeast. He traveled by road, and there was no issue that he was so scared. But till he went to where he was going, no problem. Nobody stopped him to waylay him or snatch his phone or kidnap him. There was nothing like that. That all these things they are saying is just to put fear in you and put Nigeria as a bad name, put Nigeria to be a bad country. This one say thank you for the enlightening of our Nigerian people. And I want to say another thing. As a Nigerian, you should be careful the things you say about your country, because whatever you say is what people will hold on to. Don't put fear in people. Don't say wrong things about. You can talk about your government, how they are not doing well, because you are holding them accountable, but you cannot be talking wrong about your country. This one say, Jim, kudos to you. We Nigerians really love and appreciate you. True son of African and our very own. And this one say beautifully, yeah, Nigeria is a safe place. Just respect yourself and you are good. Exactly. Nigeria is a very safe place. And this one say, Jim, relocate to Nigeria permanently. That's my advice. Exactly. I said the same thing. This one say things are cheap in Nigeria relative to other African countries. However, for Nigerians, things were a lot cheaper than this. So, yes, that's why Nigerians are complaining now. Things were very cheap. We were buying fuel at 60 naira a liter in this Nigeria. We have bought fuel at 60 naira. It was 50. It went up. Fuel was 30 naira. It went to 50 naira. It went to 60 naira. It went to 67 naira. He now stayed at 80 naira. It now went to 87 naira for a long time. And there was a protest to that effect. So you can imagine things were very cheap. If you could visit Nigeria now and say things are cheap, imagine how they were cheap before. Just imagine how cheap things were before. That fish you showed in Lagos where you were eating fish, in those days, that fish is like 500 naira. Yes, so but right now you hear 10,000 for it. For when I was pregnant with my kids, do you see? Also, I will buy fish 2,500, 3,000 with chips and all of that, and I will eat the fish and remain. It will remain. I'll put it in the freezer, and the next day I'll use it to do fresh tomato sauce. So at the end of the day, we should just know that Nigeria is evolving, and if you are coming to Nigeria, just know that you feel at home. Nothing will happen to you that is bad. Nigerians are loving people.